can't go. Noodle on his left, Jess on his right. Hey, hold up, don't start a fight. He's got you covered with all the sports. Don't fret, he's wearing shorts. It's time for Waking Jake in the morning, Waking Jake at night. Jake sucks.
Ooh, Happy New Year, Bakers. Happy Monday, Happy New Year's, Happy Honda Days. We're back, baby. We're doing it. 2021, myself, Jake Ronald Storielli, 10-11-89. Probably back up to 187 pounds after the week and a half or so. My producer and lover, Big Baby David. Welcome back. Hope you're getting back into your week. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're dragging it out. I had some friends that were joking, like, I'm not getting New Year doesn't start till January 11th. They're rolling it back 1 week later. We're going. Jomboy Media, holy smokes, some big stuff on the horizon. Me and Big Baby David are matching today. And David, I think we need to start with the sports. And the original idea behind the game of the night was exactly what happened last night. The moments that Twitter is perfect for. When you've got a community all watching the same thing, and everybody was watching the Washington football team, the 6-9, nice, Washington football team, playing the 4-10-1 Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday Night Football, dictating who would go to the playoffs in the NFC least. If the Eagles win, BBD's G-Men are going dancing, and if Washington wins, they are in. And BBD, it looked tough at first. Thought it was going to be ugly. Scary Terry McLaurin, he's really good. He's really good. Touchdown catch, field goal right after that. It's 10-0 Washington. All right, let's call it. The Giants had their fun. Little Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend. The Eagles, no. Jalen Hurts brings the Eagles back. 6-yard touchdown run. Another 6-yard touchdown run. It's 14-10. We're up. That was 4 minutes left to play. They get the ball back even, but they go 3 and out. They give it back to Washington, and this is the part of the game that I think gets overlooked the most. Washington drives down Logan Thomas. Touchdown catch. Really nice. Former quarterback from Virginia Tech. How about that?
All the way up.
All the way up, yeah. He went up and got it, which gave Washington the lead at the half, 17-14. Now we start having fun. Jalen Hurts, who has been so controversial, he hasn't been so controversial for the past few weeks. His coach, Doug Peterson, because while Carson Wentz had been sucking farts, Jalen Hurts had been sitting on the bench saying, I'm a second-round pick, let me play. He comes in, they beat the Saints, right, a few weeks ago, and then he lost the next 2 games, but he still looked pretty decent.
Not the reason they lost.
He had the 2 touchdowns in this game after they go for it on 4th and goal, where they could have kicked a field goal to tie it. And they kind of had the 4th and goal play. Hurts just got rushed. He didn't get the right pass off.
There was a guy.
The guy was open, but there was a guy in Hurts' face. It is whatever it is. Jalen Hurts to the bench for handsome, strong Nate Sudfeld. Hot boy summer 2020 rolls into the new year. He was a Nick Foles like doppelganger. The back of his helmet and just kind of the way he walks. So you're like, okay, I guess let's see it because this is the National Football League. Maybe Nate Sudfeld's been twirling it in practice. Al Michaels and Collinsworth are like, Peterson alluded to this. We all kind of thought he was messing with us. Sudfeld comes in and he looks horrible. Nothing short of horrible. He looked like a backup quarterback that hadn't played in 2 years, which is what he was. Not even a backup, a third-string quarterback. We're going to talk about some of the QBs that played action this weekend, and the fact that Sudfeld is one of them is brutal. The Eagles' defense makes some plays. They get the interception. They get a Sudfeld fumbles. Chase Young gets tackled by Boston Scott. That's a 6'5", 300 guy getting tackled by a 5'6", 200 guy. The dream. We'll get to Short Kings later. And then Washington fumbles, and an Eagles player almost has the chance to scoop and score it, and he doesn't pick it up. Sudfeld comes out for one last miracle. Oh, before that, the Eagles defense gets a stop again. It's 4th and 1. We know they're going to try to draw you off sides. And the guy plunges across the line into Alex Smith's bad leg. It was an absolute comedy show. And I guess the perfect way to sum up the NFC East, they get it back to Sudfeld. He looks like a pedestrian back there. And then they run, the lateral play to end the game, and they don't even bother. Carson Wentz is not dressed in this game. I believe a healthy scratch, just because he's been supposedly.
I think that was largely his request,
demanding a trade and blah blah blah. The Washington football team finishes 7-9. They win the NFC East. They will host the Tampa Bay Yucks in a playoff game. We'll talk about that a little bit. The Eagles, 4-11-1. And I mean, how can you feel about Peterson and Hurts and everything? I mean, kudos to Jalen Hurts, his press conference after the game. He handled it as good as a competitive athlete could. And one of the reporters did corner him a little bit. He's just like, guys, I think we all know what happened here. Washington goes to the playoffs. Good for them. Good for Alex Smith. Good for Ron Rivera. Good for that defense. The defense plays. Should be I don't know if it should be a fun matchup, but we'll go through the playoff matchups in a little bit. But this was the story of the night on Twitter. All the Giants players tweeting out their reactions as they watched it live. That was hilarious. Ex-Eagles players tweeting out, like Brian Westbrook, like, that can't be real. I mean, there's race stuff involved with the quarterbacks, because, like, why wasn't Hurts playing more before in the season? It's the culmination of sports. Making the Washington football team versus Philadelphia Eagles the game of the night. And BBD, the game of the night was brought to you by the new Jomboy Media Trivia Show. Premieres tonight. Christian Yelich.
Yelich is episode 1.
Christian Yelich.
That's all the guests, so I guess we can say them all.
Yeah, Yelich episode 1. What do we got? Flaherty, Giolito.
I think Giolito's next. I forget the exact
Giolito's
order.
next.
Or
Ian
Happ is next.
Ian Happ, Cub slugger Ian Happ, and the season finale with Trevor Bauer. So those will be debuting on Monday nights.
The next 5 Mondays, beginning with this one.
Next 5 Monday nights. So we're really excited for that. We had a lot of fun with that. We'd been dreaming that up for a while. So the fact we finally got the chance to do it was a lot of fun. And producer BBD on that, too, if you like how cute and sexy he is.
That's like one of the biggest just team effort accomplishments I feel like we've had.
Yeah,
like,
it came together.
Been like all hands on deck, everyone
and
out with that.
I'm glad how many hands got to be involved in that. Some behind the media, Jomboy Media stuff. When you're trying to figure something out and then you actually do it, you've got a game plan, you're audible, and we thought we were going to compete against the baseball players at first, and then we're like, I don't think anybody wants to see that, and then we don't want to beat that. We'll let you guys see it tonight. Let us know what you're thinking. Go check it out. Big Baby David, how are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
How were your emotions last night as a Giants fan?
I mean, it was all the ones you'd think. You can go look at my Twitter timeline. I had some good jokes in there, I think. Yeah, I mean, obviously the Giants part of it hurts. Everyone's pointing to, like, well, win more than 6 games. Like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Win more than 6 games. You can say that every year.
Right.
As long as you didn't go 6-0, you should have won more games and you wouldn't have to worry about this. It's like, yeah, obviously, man.
Right.
Like, We already didn't do that, though, is the thing.
Right.
Medvin, who's the man.
Yes.
He put it well. He was just like, I retweeted it. I don't retweet very many things.
Wow.
So not to toot my own horn.
Wow.
But he was like, I mean, if they both had 10 wins,
right?
We don't. Is that real?
The situation is if the Giants, whoever won the Giants-Cowboys game, we set this up. Whoever won the Giants-Cowboys game was going to be rooting for the Eagles to win. And the Eagles had a pretty good chance to win with one gentleman at quarterback. Hell, they might have had a good chance to win with two gentlemen on their roster at quarterback.
And particularly with the way Washington played.
They didn't with the third.
Especially on the offensive side of the ball. They didn't give their best effort to, not best effort.
No,
they didn't give
and
themselves a great chance to win on that side.
They don't know what their best effort is. I mean, we talked about
they're not good. None of these teams are particularly good.
No, Alex Smith is playing on a leg that took 2 years to heal, and his calf is injured, and they literally removed part of his calf to help with his leg injury that took him 2 years to heal. So
he's been out the last couple weeks.
It's insane. And so BBD, this is what gets lost in the 6-10, 7-9 win more games things. Like, Giants fans are still going to be really sad.
Yeah.
Because your team's goal was to go out and win. Like, Al Michaels said this perfectly on the broadcast. He's like, imagine if the Cowboys had won. Like, that fan base would be going insane. It's the same thing. Those two teams had to win, and then they had to hope for the result of another football game that you hope was played at 100%. And that's...
Yeah, I'd mentally prepped for... Like I was saying all day, like I think Washington just like waxes them because
Sure.
Washington's better. The Eagles are bad. There's not much to play for. I thought the Eagles had a good chance because Hurts was going to play.
Yeah.
He hasn't played very many games, so getting him more experience made sense to me. And
Yeah.
he was going to try
Because the
he's
whole
a
Nate
rookie.
Sudfeld thing is finding out if he's could be part of your team next year, and it's like you still should be finding
Trying to
that
figure out
out
the starter
about
right now.
Jalen Hurts. Because it sounds like you have another guy who's got one of the biggest contracts in the NFL that didn't dress for this game
In
and
theory,
demanded
they're
a
trying
trade.
To trade him, they might have to like attach a pick to get rid of him, or like swap picks, whatever the trade ends up being.
Unbelievable.
They're gonna have to make a big decision with the starting quarterback position.
Yeah.
And like my whole thing is like, in theory, I mean Pearson must have been assured he was gonna be with the team next year. In
Yes.
theory, he was on the hot seat, so I was like,
Yeah.
he's gonna try to win. Didn't.
Yeah, there's rumors out of Philly that like Howie Roseman has a lifetime contract and stuff. I mean, that can't be real.
Yeah,
But
they it's like Jalen Hurts has only played 4 or 5 full games now.
Right. I think
So
4.
like, they're not that one more quarter of playing is gonna make a decision on it, but like
Would have been nice
it's one
to
more
see.
quarter than the like 12 he's gotten to play so far, whatever the number is.
Would have been nice to see
You would
1/12
think you
of his
want to
career.
get your rookie second-round pick quarterback
Yeah.
who's only gotten to play 4 games this year, like full games. You would think you'd want them to get some fourth quarter reps in a game
Yeah.
that has playoff implications, even if not for their
Against
team,
a
for
good-
one of the teams trying very hard to make the playoffs.
against a good defense.
Their defense is legit.
Yeah, man, it was wild, and connecting it to the Giants and doing the full story. So my sweet Jessica Flex, she asked me. She's like, "What's going on with this?"
Because they're acting like it's crazy. And it kind of was.
So I went back further, and I mean, it goes Carson Wentz, high pick. Carson Wentz playing like an MVP. Carson Wentz gets hurt. Eagles win the Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Nick Foles leaves. Carson Wentz comes back. He hasn't been the same. A lot of different excuses, some valid, some not. Injuries, wide receivers, O-line, blah, blah, blah. You could do the whole thing. Jalen Hurts, second-round pick. Find out what they got. Not really a controversy. Carson Wentz, terrible this year. Should have been benched weeks before. They finally give Hurts the opportunity. Looks good. And now
Look good this game.
to come into this and Wentz on the bench and the Giants being attached and Nate Sudfeld. That's sports. That's sports.
It's one thing
That's sports.
if they had just
Kind
like
of.
if they had from the get-go, like, didn't play Hurts that game, like, we're not going to risk him getting hurt. You can talk yourself into that. And I'm fine. I'd live with it if they were like, we're not playing anyone we want here long term. If they get hurt in a meaningless for us, week 17. I would have been mad, but it would have. It's understandable. It's like a legitimate thing that happens.
Evan Ingram,
but they didn't. Evan Ingram just catches that ball in October.
Yeah,
we have this conversation actually.
Yeah,
but a lot of butterflies.
That's the beauty of it. Good for Washington. Good for Ron Rivera. Good for Alex Smith.
My last thing.
Last note.
Because we do got other football to
we
get
got other
to.
football.
But this is the story of sports today.
Yeah.
This is my lukewarmest take, so kind of bad I saved it for last. I don't care about the not kicking the field goal thing nearly as much.
Right.
Analytically, it like made sense. And tying the game for the Eagles, it does nothing.
Kissing your sister,
There's no benefit.
I'm with you there.
Them. They don't need to win that bad. Might as well just go for the touchdown and play.
Play to win the game.
I'm really fine with that. In the moment, I would have liked for them to take the field goal because for me, yes, but from that, like that one made perfect sense to me.
I mean, anyone who's
stupid when it doesn't work.
Anyone who's ever played Madden or anyone, if the Eagles score there, Giants fans are stoked, and they did all the analytics percentages. Which BBD, I'm with you. I don't think it was that. Because they showed the analytics. It was like if they kick a field goal, their chance to win goes up 5%. If they score a touchdown, it goes up 23%. If they don't get it, it goes down 10%. So if you look at all those percentages, it says go for it. I don't even think it's that. I think it's what you're saying. Like, why do we care? Like, let's try to win. Fuck it.
Yeah, touchdown, cool. That actually does something for us.
Enough about that game. Eagles, sheesh. That's going to be a fun offseason. That is going to be a fun offseason for that team. Let's see what they do. Beavers, let's scroll through the rest of the Sunday foosball slate. A lot of games that didn't matter that I'll hit quick. I mean, Jets, Patriots. Patriots win. Gase fired. Shocked that it didn't happen a year ago. Dolphins, Bills. This was actually one of the more important games of the weekend, and the biggest disappointment of the weekend is the Miami Dolphins. Tua, terrible game on the road, I think 3 picks. The Bills didn't really have anything to play for in this game. Josh Allen still let it rip.
Clinched the 2 seed with a win.
Yeah, I think there could have been some seeding, but they were in the playoffs, and you see a lot of teams in this situation that, you wouldn't risk Josh Allen getting hurt or anything. They didn't care. Josh Allen lets her rip. That defense scores some points. Bills 56. Dolphins 26. In a game that the Dolphins needed to make the playoffs, and the Bills didn't need it all. Interesting offseason. Well, actually, Miami, you know what? I know it's sad, but you've got a quarterback. You've got the top 3 pick coming from Houston. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Ravens, Bengals. Again, this game didn't matter. Ravens 38, Bengals 3. Ravens make the playoffs. And by the way, I think they're on a 5-game win streak. So, not exciting to play the Ravens. They've got a fun playoff matchup. Steelers, Browns, BBD. Steelers, Browns was one of the big games of the day. The Browns with this nightmare scenario that if they could not make the playoffs as a double-digit win team. They haven't been to the playoffs since 2002. They haven't won a playoff game since 1994. When were you born, BBD?
1997.
Cleveland Browns have not won a playoff game in your lifetime.
No.
They play the steel curtain. Nick Chubb busted one open early. He goes for 108 and a touchdown. He's really good, man. I like the way he's built. Someone tell that to Nick Chubb.
Like the kid of this guy's gym.
Yeah, man. I mean, big time. Hot. And yeah, this was... So Big Ben didn't play this game, and the Steelers have this track record of just dominating the Browns. Go look up those numbers. It's like... It's eye-opening. Like,
particularly in the last 20 years.
You realize bad franchise, good franchise, but when you see the numbers, you're like, oh my God. So this is literally a house of horrors. Cleveland goes up pretty big, and Mason Rudolph's playing the whole Myles Garrett stuff, Big Ben resting. The Steelers come back. They need a 2-point conversion to tie it. They don't get it. Browns need 1 first down. They get it. Biker gets it. 3rd and 1, QB keeper. He's going around the field. They're celebrating in Cleveland. Good for them, man. Good for them. They'll play the Steelers next week in Pittsburgh.
Switch cities.
Oh, my God. That'll be a fun watch. That will be a fun watch. Good for them. Good for the Browns, man. We were kind of on them early. Baker, their head coach, man, Stefanski, he deserves some love. Good for them. Claypool's touchdown late. That guy's a monster. Watch out for that dude. Giants, Cowboys, BBD. We've mentioned it before. The winner of this game goes on to have a chance at the playoffs.
Is an Eagles win away from
Is
the
an
playoffs.
Eagles win away from the playoffs, if that's the way we need to phrase it. Danny Jones, Danny Dimes is back. He goes for 229 and 2 touchdowns. Sterling Shepard with a big game. Boomer Sooner. How about him getting it done?
Best game of the year.
The Giants outlast the Cowboys is the headline. They exchanged some field goals late. Zerline, Graham Gano. I'll let Beavers talk about that later. Dante Pettis show. Hot on Giants Twitter these days. Buccaneers, Falcons. Game kind of doesn't matter. I told you guys Buccaneers were going to be hot in the street. They kind of are, especially now that they're playing the Washington football team. Brady, casual 4 touchdowns. His numbers on the year have to end up looking pretty good. Antonio Brown, kind of the story in this one. 11 catches, 138, 2 touchdowns. Brady had a nice on-the-roll pass to him back of the end zone. Also, they were doing some shovel passes to Antonio Brown late. And he had an incentive in his contract that if he caught like 3 more balls, he got $250,000. So I don't know if Brady was doing that. I don't know if Arians was doing that. But the front office probably doesn't like that. Either way, the Tom Brady Antonio Brown thing continues to evolve into just some weird stuff. Buccaneers roll. Good for them. Packers 35, Bears 16. This game actually meant something to the Bears. If they won, they had pretty good. They're in the playoffs. They still get in, even though they get rolled up on by the Packers. Rodgers just looks like he's so calm and he's having so much fun right now. So much fun on the boat. Darryl Mooney, 93 yards, sure. Montgomery, yeah. Chicago gets into the playoffs with their loss because of the Arizona loss. This was another. Oh, my God. This game was sloppy. Cardinals 7, Rams 18. I mentioned before that there was some quarterback play around the NFL that was just a real treat. A real treat. And this Rams-Arizona game had it. Kyler Murray gets hurt, which sucks. Strevler comes in. If you're a sports fan, Google this guy. CFL champ. There's video of him and just a cowboy hat and a beard getting tanked. He was awful. Murray comes in, tries to be a superhero. John Wolford gets the dub for the Rams, 18-7. Cardinals don't make the playoffs. We got some Chiefs highlights rolling right now. Chiefs, they rolled again without Mahomes.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Chargers 38, Chiefs 21. This game didn't matter at all. Yeah. Herbert, he does more good stuff. Good for him. His stat line has to be crazy. Chargers fans probably excited about that. Mike Williams, this game didn't matter. Over it. Colts beat the Jaguars. That game did matter. Colts, with a win, they take Miami's playoff spot, and they would. This game got close for a little bit. Jonathan Taylor doing huge things. 253 on the ground, handed off Phil. Could be a tough out in the playoffs if he's playing like that. This was also against the Jaguars, who finished 1-15 and fire their coach Doug Marrone today. Vikings-Lions, this game was close. Did people watch that? I don't know why. I think there was some rigged bad calls in that game. I saw those Twitter highlights going around. Go check that out if you're a conspiracy theory person. Saints-Panthers. Saints rolled. They didn't even use their running backs and stuff, 33-7. And then the Titans and the Texans was the other really fun game of the day. back and forth. Deshaun Watson is making plays out of nowhere. 365, 3 touchdowns. Derrick Henry, King Henry, rushes for 2,000 yards. The last running back to do it since the last running back to do it. Casual 250 from him on the day. 2 touchdowns. He's a monster. And then this game was wild down the stretch. Texans come down and tie it with the field goal. It's like, okay, we're going into overtime. There's like 16 seconds left. They just bomb one. Tannehill airs it out. It was one of the prettier throws and catches of the season to A.J. Brown. Puts them in field goal kicker. And my guy, my thick king, you may hear more about it later, Sam Sloman for the Titans, bangs it through, literally gets iced off the post and in, secures the Titans winning the division and going to the playoffs. Man, that's pretty much all of it. What an NFL Sunday, man. I mean, they've got a sick way of even the games that don't really matter, you end up having some fun with them. So
get suckered in pretty easy to most.
There's storylines. So BBD, what do you want to talk about? What needs to be known morely?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Texans are kind of a mess.
Yeah,
because they ended up. I don't want to throw Big Bad out there, but number 3 pick is what they ended up trading in the Tunsil trade because they were not. Their plans were not to be bad at all this year on any level. So that's the one that comes to my head.
Yeah.
I'll look around, see if there's any other.
No, I mean the Texans. That storyline's kind of been buried because there's more important things going on, but they've got like no picks. Like I keep wondering, is Deshaun Watson gonna like demand a trade? I don't think he's that kind of guy.
He's locked into like a big deal. Right?
Big deal, and you don't really see that too much in the NFL. But I mean, man, look around you.
He's not a year from free agency.
No, I guess it depends who they bring in as a coach. They could bring in someone that Deshaun likes, and he's into that. Okay, so I'm off of that.
You can hit on late picks.
Dolphins not making the playoffs. That kind of would have been nice for Tua. I think he's got some crazy road home splits, which do what you want with that. It's very early in his career.
Year 1.
But yeah, they're gonna have a top 3 pick and their normal pick.
Patrick this year, so they couldn't go to him even if they wanted to.
Right.
Which is a thing.
And then
Buccaneers lost Mike Evans.
That's tough.
They said no surgery or anything. But I'm assuming he can't be back. Dislocated knee.
I mean, Antonio Brown was the best wide receiver in football, like by a gap. And then he just went off the face of the earth, pretty much.
He went like next level nuts.
And then he had 11 catches, 138, and 2 scores yesterday. So, I mean,
I've been tracked his stats all year. I assume that's his biggest game of the year.
I did skip a game, BBD. It's my favorite team, the Denver Broncos. They played the Raiders, 32-31. I didn't watch that game. I mean, God. Jerry Jeudy, big day. Game. Maybe Jerry Judy's really good. That'd be cool. Yeah, I'm looking around the Colts. Jonathan Taylor, he started going. We talked about that a little bit. That Cardinals-Rams game, that was messy. Kyler was hurt. He was around the bench. He finally comes in. It's too late.
Would have been nice to see him in a playoff game. But
yeah, it would have been cool.
But I think that in general, the teams that deserve to be there, I think, are in.
I'll say this. Oh, yeah, Seahawks-Niners, they played as well. That game got sloppy. It looked like the Seahawks might blow it. They end up not. Circle this one, BBD. Cliff Kingsbury. Him and Kyler, they're sexy. Kingsbury gets hired. A lot of people are like, he wasn't great. And then it's, well, if you're going to make him your offensive coordinator, make him your head coach, because offensive coordinators they're the guys that get hired. They don't make the playoffs this year. If next year were to take a downhill turn, it's crazy.
You don't get in.
It's crazy how things happen like this in sports. I mean, the Kingsbury book can be written in what should be a tough division next year. Rams, Niners, Seahawks. If they had made the playoffs this year.
Made the Super Bowl last year.
If the Cardinals had made the playoffs, at least you could say, okay, we went last year, next year falls apart. Something to watch. Maybe Kyler and Cliff take the leap next year and they're awesome. That's a really tough division. Interested to see what happens there.
I feel like those things also shift in football so quick.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's instant.
Like all of those teams take a step back, and Cardinals take the least step back. And
I mean,
best.
Football's
nuts.
We won't do injury stuff because, any team that loses their quarterback, you can have a horrible year. But, if Russ is healthy, what's the worst the Seahawks finish? 7-9, and that would be
worst case.
If their rest of their team was awful.
Rest of the team it gets hurt, does bad.
And Rams and McVay are pretty respected. Their defense is really good. They were having some fun out there. So, okay, how about that? Little NFC West talk to get it going. Your playoff picture, Chiefs and Packers both clinched the 1 seed. I am shocked. I've been pumping both those teams as we go. Bills and Saints as the 2 teams. How about that? I guess you could have had the Saints before the year. Seahawks and Steelers are the 3s. Titans, Washington are the 4s. This is a really way to tell you guys about the playoff situation. So what do we got, BBD? If I'm reading this right, it's Saints, Bears, Seahawks, Rams. So that's that NFC West we were just talking about. Buccaneers, Washington. So what games do we like there? I guess Seahawks, Rams. That's the third time NFL teams play each other. Is usually a mess. Bucks, Washington. Again, I think this Bucks hype train is going to really get going, especially if they take down these young Washington football team. I was going to call them the R words, but they don't have a team name. Back to that.
They dropped one of those at the very end of the game too, right when they're and they win the division, and they're like, I accidentally called them the old name for a second.
Bears Saints, there's a chance could be low key fun. I doubt it. The Bears are 8-8. They're one of 3 playoff teams or something like that to make the playoffs after having 6 straight losses. So hey, they've been kind of playing good. It'll be interesting to see if that's a game.
Started and ended the year playing pretty good ball.
Man, I mean, the Packers just look nasty. It would have to be Tampa or the Saints looking really good to give them a chance. I guess let Russ cook. It's NFL. It's NFL football.
I guess there's a very good chance in 2 weeks we get Bucks Packers.
I mean, is that
enough early?
I mean, just write that
in
math. Write that in stone. That will happen. On the other side, Chiefs get the bye, so it's Colts Bills. I mean, in Buffalo, but Bills, you got to be careful. The Colts have been running the ball. If they can control the game. Let's see. Browns, Steelers, I mean, that's must-watch for a few reasons. And then Titans, Ravens should be a fun one. I mean, flip a coin for me. And, people are hot on the Titans, but the Ravens, 5 straight, and both these teams like to run the ball.
They're both teams that don't like playing from behind.
I mean,
nobody likes it.
How about this? If the Titans go to the AFC Championship again, which, again, I think their second game should be against the Chiefs, I'll believe in Tannehill. I still can't do it. I've just seen a lot of it. And I think quarterback's a lot easier.
Before.
He might low-key have the best skill position guys in football. A.J. Brown is a beast. And not a lot of people know about him. Corey Davis is a beast. Not a lot of people know about him. Derrick Henry, a lot of people know about him. Ran for 2 bills. Again, bring that list up. Not a lot of dudes have done that. And Lamar, the Ravens, that should be a really good playoff game. So we'll again, Wake and Jake will be back Thursday talking about that a little more.
A little more hoops talk than we're going to have today.
More hoops. Anything? Any final playoff NFL notes, BBD?
I think we got it.
Yeah.
When we get a little closer to the playoff games, we'll get a little excited.
Yeah. No,
some more takes.
I made some people mad in the chat. No way the Colts beat the Bills. I mean, I'll just say this. The Bills have been incredible this year. But again, this is how playoff. Every year there's one really good team.
Tournament.
There's one really good team. that, football's a silly game. I mean, again, I mentioned it with the Eagles. Like, there was a scoop and score opportunity at the end. That what would we be talking about right now? Like, we'd be talking about how the Eagles did it and how, Giants fans love
Giants and Brady.
Doug Peterson. Yeah. So, I don't know. Just don't get too far ahead of yourself. I mean, hey, Josh Allen was incredible. Probably second in the MVP vote. But, this is foosball. It's foosball. Speaking of foosball, I'll mention it quick, BBD, because I watched the games. College football. The playoffs are going on. Bama whoops on Notre Dame. Didn't surprise anyone. Bama's really good, and it was kind of lining up to be Bama-Clemson. But I'll say you this, BBD, one of the most underrated things in sports is motivation. Dabo Swinney calling Ohio State the 11th ranked team in the country. I mean, that's just dumb, man. That is lining up your guys for battle, if we get dramatic about sports, for a bad time. Especially kids who are 18 to 22. Like, if you can get, and this is what makes good college football coaches good, it's getting these guys organized and militaristic. Because
on the same page.
When you're 19, you're dumb as shit. Dumb as all hell. You're chasing butt. You're just trying to pass through school. You want to party. Like, think about how dumb. I mean, I was so dumb at 19. But if you had told me at 19 and a group of my 50 closest friends that someone talks shit about us, their head coach, guess what? I'm going to line it up and get ready to, kill you. And that's what happened out there. Ohio State beat down on Clemson. It's going to be Bama, Ohio State. I mean, still lean Bama. It was a good game for Ohio State. No idea how I feel about their quarterback. I'm up and down on them. He looked really good. The Haskins thing, it skews my whole vision of Ohio State quarterbacks. But
Ohio State quarterbacks in general.
The kid's an athlete, and he's, he had a really good game. So I don't know. I still
punish
have
him for Haskins.
Yeah,
mistakes.
right. Like, that's not fair. I'm not going to do
rude.
that. But also, they do have elite guys everywhere. So I don't know. College football, Ohio State, Bama. I'll probably watch it. Sure. How about that? So that was the college football. The biggest note from the basketball world, we'll try to circle up. We'll do some standings and who's hot in the street.
Football will be over before you know it, and we will go game by game.
Yeah, there'll be we'll
right
be
now
back.
It's covering basketball stories.
College, maybe baseball starts signing guys. Who's your guy? Sugano.
I put it in the sheet. I was thinking about surprising you with it.
Yeah.
He has the same birth date as you.
Wow. 89?
10/11/89. I assume he was born in Japan, so technically, with time difference stuff, I would assume he was born a day ahead our time. But
I'm all in.
10/11/89. Yeah,
that is huge. Thank you, Beavers. Steph put up a 62-point. Steph put up a 62-point playing the basketball. Steph Curry dropped 62 on the Blazers. Oh my God. Brain's fading on me. Dame Time gave him some love after the game. Man, there is nothing like watching Steph Curry when he's hot. I mean...
And playing basketball well.
Hello. I mean, just some of the shots he hits. If you've seen it before, you've seen it before. I mean, he just can pull up from anywhere. He toys with you, and he has fun, man. He does the airplane thing after he made a couple. I like Steph, man. There's, Steph kind of has a weird rap. And, hey, I was on this show saying, if you traded Dame Lillard and Steph Curry earlier in their careers, how different does it look? I think those Golden State teams still win some titles with KD.
Maybe they don't get to 73 wins that year before. Maybe they don't win in 15.
But Steph still is somehow the most underrated player in the NBA. And he showed it last night. And the Warriors got off to kind of a slow start this year, a couple ugly games. I mean, when Steph does that, man. And, hey, Portland hasn't been known for their defense throughout the years, but
62 points
62
on
points.
31 shots.
On 31 shots. That is for our basketball people out there, and you're joining. 62 points on 31 shots is insane. Insane.
It was... Not
Well,
even
was it
that many?
Was it
free
that last
throws.
Kobe game that he had 60, but it was like on 60 shots or something like that?
Yeah,
Like, he was jacking.
It was at least 50.
He was jacking. R.I.P. Love you, Kobe.
Coming up on a year there.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be a sad day. God damn it. Steph Curry notes, Beavers.
Trying
Good,
to see
hot.
how much he's really good. Okay, he had more free throws than I thought coming in, which like doesn't change anything.
Sure.
I thought it's 18 of 19. My head is like, and he did only 9 free throw attempts on the game,
Yeah.
which is like that. Okay,
Yeah,
I was
the
wrong.
math starts to get a
Bad
little
brain.
tricky, but still, I mean, how about
Yeah, I mean,
that?
he's really good, and everyone's talking about, like, even he was like, yeah, I saw people like tweeting that I was done.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh.
people were ripping that Golden State team. NBA is so funny. I mean, after first night, like Oubre, disaster. It's like, that's
Season, it's been, we're
didn't
2
it have
weeks
a
into
didn't
the
it have a
year.
normal preseason? Like let the
Not a real
NBA
preseason.
the NBA
Found
is
out right before that they weren't gonna have Clay all year again.
the NBA is notorious for teams not kicking into gear until 2 months into the season. So like let it happen a little bit.
Oubre and Wiggins are brand new teammates for him.
Hot. No, they're not. Oubre's hot.
Oubre's a track.
Oubre is for
I think he's playing better now. I know it started the year with however many,
hot.
18 missed threes to start the year. But
We'll be circling up on more of the shooty hoops as we go. BBD, huge sports day. Jaguars get the top pick, Jets 2, Dolphins 3, Falcons, Bengals. We'll have enough time to get to the NFL draft.
Giants are 11.
Huge
So
sports
that's-
weekend.
That's my note on that.
G-men. BBD, let's go to the comment of the day. Bakers, you guys are out in full force this morning. It's not a perfect game. We need a new term. If we get 100 likes before this part of the show, the century mark, we'll figure out something better than that.
Be a name.
On the YouTube, you're all liking, you're all commenting. You guys are the best. And Dino the Great gave money because he's a sicko. The Facebook number's great. It's been, been a week?
Yeah.
Been a week since we've been back here. We didn't do a New Year's one. I was doing stuff. BBD would have had to come in. Sorry. Happy New Year. But we're back.
Feel a little bad. Zach spent the day in the office by himself that day.
Love that.
It's like, I would
Love
have
Zach.
sat in here with you. I didn't have much to do.
I'm going to give him a gentle hug. I ask you guys to bake the algorithm, and how you do that is comment. Leave a like. Talk about something in your sports world. Catch me up. Give us something to talk about. The one we went back to was Sam Darnold going to the Patriots. How fun would that be if he tormented the Jets? BBD, last episode, there was some echoes for a little bit. So one person said, Calzone said, Jake as the voice of God is scary. Yeah. Agree. If you look for the big man upstairs and you hear, well, I don't know about these Jets and Adam Gase, go talk to someone. Fernando Tatis commented, which that's pretty huge. He's pretty cool. The Rays traded Price in 2014. They had 4 straight losing seasons. Rays are not as smart as we perceive them. It's a little bit of a yes and no. I mean, the Rays deserve some love for the way they run that franchise. There's a lot of smart people. It sucks that they have to run that franchise the way they do. So hopefully that changes. And then from the Facebook machine, Eric Simmons said there could be a 6-10 team make the playoffs and an 11-5 miss. Didn't end up happening. 7-9, 10-6, but still. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that? Bruh Cheese live in the chat. Passing bomb.
The Jets are interviewing Eric Bieniemy for the head coach job. So not a real bomb, but it came on my phone. So.
Go get him. People
the only other name I saw, like a concrete rumor, was Dan Mullen.
Ooh.
Who I personally love.
Oh, okay.
He went to Ursinus.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like a personal
Ursinus.
thing. No idea what he's like as a coach.
Yeah,
at all.
I don't know if he's the college guy to take the lead. Maybe he is. Who knows? The Jets, there's a lot of craziness going on there because their owner is back from being the U.S. ambassador to London. There's some politics for you. And you know what? Bieniemy has been lined up for an NFL coach job for a while. If he's willing to take the Jets job, The Jets should probably want that. We'll see. I'm hearing he's interviewing with the Falcons as well. So, and today's, I think they call it
everyone's interviewing.
Is it Black Monday or something? The day coaches get fired. So we'll see if anyone else joins them in a little bit. That might be some breaking news. Thank you guys for.
It's usually a surprise one.
Usually one surprise one. Let's get it.
No shockers yet.
So keep baking the algorithm. Keep hitting like. Keep sharing. Tell a friend. We are rolling today. Brings us into the bro of the night, BBD. I'm going to do mine short and quick, just like my man, Sammy Sloman. Most importantly, BBD, so this guy, he was the kicker out of Miami of Ohio, listed at 5'8", 205, my kind of guy, which means he's 5'7", 210. Sammy Sloman, it's his first game on the team. Their kicker got hurt, and he's out there with a chance to win the game or for them to lose the game and go tight butthole on their whole season. Sammy Sloman bangs one, gets iced, and then he kicks another one. It goes off the post and in. All the player reactions are really good. Sam Sloman said after the game he'd only met like half the team. And now he's celebrating with them on the field. That's a lot of fun. Teaser, you might even see a little breakdown about this. I'm giving love to a short king.
I think I can hear it being recorded
Yeah, it might be recorded right now. Sammy Sloman, my thicker the kicker, someone tweeted at me. So you know I like that. So yeah, to all my short kings out there, Sammy Sloman gets it. Miami of Ohio, 23 years old, BBD. Could be you. Yeah. Could be either of us. How about that? So that cracked me up on a weird weekend of NFL. So yeah, sorry, Derrick Henry, who went for 2,000 yards.
That stinks.
BBD is older than him, confirmed. BBD, who's your bro of the night?
Jake, my bro of the night is a lady bro.
Love that.
I'm giving it to Becky Hammon.
Yeah,
who,
love her.
She filled in for Popovich when he got kicked out, so became the first woman to be a head coach in a real game. Don't know how the record books reflect that, but it's a cool story. Love her. We talked about her on Talking Knicks a lot before. Don't know how many times we talked about her here. She's going to be a head coach one day.
Yeah,
which is cool.
She's going to be the first, and I think not to go full woke. Wake and Jake, we're back, and we're running a little long. I had a lot of people ask me about the Vanderbilt kicker, Fuller. And, that first game they didn't score at all, and everyone's like, And then the next game she comes in, hits the extra point, blah, blah, blah. And I had some people, and they were real conversations, and they were, you always want the first to be record-breaking or, Jackie Robinson. You want them to go down. And, Becky Hammon, she seems as legit as it gets. That picture that was going around the internet that someone did the hang it in the Louvre where it's all of them just locked in on her and she's yelling, honestly, put it up in the Louvre. Sarah Fuller, people were asking me, do you think she's the best person on Vandy's campus to kick? And it's I don't know. There's a chance.
Maybe.
There's a chance. I don't know.
Weren't there extenuating circumstances that got her added to the team?
Yeah,
I don't fully know it. I saw she had some video being guys, I'm not supposed to be the kicker. I know that.
Yeah, and she went out there and she did her job. And if it was a guy, you wouldn't have cared. And I guess the other side was was Vandy just doing it for press? And I don't know. I can't answer that part, and that part's kind of weird. Because is that weird by them? Is it good that they got a woman on the field? And hey, there's probably little girls out there that are idolizing her. So fuck it, that they can say they've seen it before, and now I want to do that. So, but yeah, man, Becky Hammon.
Their kickers got hurt. They needed someone who could kick.
Right.
The men's soccer team, I don't think, is on campus.
It got eliminated.
Their season isn't going.
I think it got removed.
The women's
or
team is
something.
still going. She's the goalie, so she kicks.
Yeah. So it's screwed. And if you get that deep into the thought process, get over yourself.
They just added a dude from the men's soccer team, and he did the exact same thing.
Right.
It's it doesn't look perfect.
So why do you care?
You don't care.
Yeah. Steph Curry with 62.
Steph 62.
Another good candidate. A lot of the weirdo quarterbacks out there. The guy for the Rams was actually a lot of fun. If you want to see a backup quarterback having a good time on the field, go check that out. A lot of candidates. There's a lot of brus, too. There's a lot of brus. Dabo could have got brud.
Anything from
Adam
the
Gase
Eagles.
every week. Doug Peterson, oh my God.
Tying it back to Becky Hammond, the story of Popovich walking off and just being like, "You're in charge." Just a cool story.
Yeah. It's Pop.
Love that.
Pop.
Love Pop.
BBD, we got to wrap it up. What are we watching tonight? Jomboy Media Trivia Show.
Jomboy Media Trivia Show.
I already
at
told
6
you guys.
Eastern on this
6
channel.
p.m.
If you're on
Or
YouTube.
it's YouTube, so if you don't watch live.
Is it going on the Facebook too?
I'd assume so. Gotta be,
couple
right?
clips here and there to remind you of it.
Gotta
going
be
out on
here.
the socials.
Maybe I'll be live in the chat. I don't know.
Could happen.
BBD, you have some more sports in here. Some college
There's
basketball.
Some basketball games going.
Jazz
I'll go
Nets
through 'em
Tuesday.
quick. Jazz Nets tomorrow. The Nets have been kind of struggling. They need a win, and they match up with a good Jazz team. They're really missing Dinwiddie because he's a big part.
Yeah.
He gets Kyrie and Katie to be able to take possessions off.
Yeah.
It's like a big deal that he's gone. Tonight in college basketball, number 7 West Virginia versus Oklahoma State, who would be another ranked team if they were eligible
Right.
for
Cade Cunningham.
the postseason. Cade Cunningham is awesome. I usually try to find his games.
Get him on the Knicks.
And I think they're late night, so I might be able to go to that right after the Knick game, which is just good for me personally. Believe it or not, Cavs Magic Wednesday night. Kind of excited for both those teams overperforming a bit, have some interesting young players, particularly young guards.
How about Sicko
I've got-
BBD?
I've got my eyes on.
Putting Magic Cavs in your future. Holy gross.
And a ranked versus ranked college game. Number 14 Rutgers, number 17 Michigan State.
State University of
slated
New
for
Jersey
Wednesday.
versus the State University of Michigan. That could be a little fun. Who's the guy in Rutgers? The Ron Harper Jr.
Ron Harper Jr. It's like,
So, remember
basketball junior.
Yeah. Remember those Bulls teams? His son's on there, making Rutgers good. So, sports are going. BBD laid it out. I mean, you're starting during the week. It's going to become basketball season, college or pros. It looks like my UConn playing Marquette Tuesday. I'll probably check that out. NBA's rolling. Jomboy Media is rolling. I told you, breakdowns coming. New morning. GM files. If you haven't been checking that out, should. A lot of good baseball stuff on there. Talking Knicks new ep. I got 13 minutes in on my commute this morning. Hopefully I'll get 25 on the way back. Should be a little longer. Jomboy Jake TV. New watching baggage out. Really good episode. Very silly. Talking Yanks, talking baseball. Talking Yanks. Coming live in a couple minutes. Baseball, sign people. Bake the algorithm. You're all hot.